This is the Diana DeRosa interview with Equus Television Worldwide correspondent Diana DeRosa. Join Diana as she traverses the globe, bringing you the latest information from equestrian newsmakers, newsbreakers, athletes, and luminaries from across the global equestrian spectrum. The Diana DeRosa interview starts now.
I'm speaking with Devon Katsev, who is the president and CEO of Straight Arrow Mane and Tail. And that is a sponsor of the Maryland 5-Star. So Devon, in 2021, when the Maryland 5-Star had its inaugural event, one of only two 5-Star events in the USA, Straight Arrow Mane and Tail became one of the very first sponsors. Tell our audience why.
Well, let's even go back further than that. We were with this event long before it became the Maryland 5-Star. We've been with them since they were the Fair Hills International.
Cool.
We were with them a number of years. And we actually got to see them building and ramping up to this progress of ultimately becoming the Maryland 5-Star. So to see that transition and to be a part of it, that was very exciting, and we were more than happy to do it. And again, it's anything in equine, we try to do the best we can to support everything we're doing anyway. And as Jeff Newman and all these guys, as the president with the 5-Star, started to take this show over, I mean, they've done a heck of a job. It is truly just a fun event, and it's great for the riders, and we're just proud to be doing it with them. So,
well, great. I am so glad that you are a sponsor. You and your Straight Arrow Mane and Tail products also sponsor the annual Corgi race, which is a must-attend event. What inspired you to also do that?
Well, that happened after the race converted to the Maryland 5-Star. I met Rob there, Rob and Karen, his wife, and they're with Major League Eventing. And about a year later, after it started, they brainstormed this idea to run the Corgis, and we were like, "You run the Corgis, we'll be there. We'll do it. This sounds like fun." And then subsequently, it's like interesting, after we'd done the race and had a lot of fun building it, and we continue to do it, we subsequently even created our own pet line off of it called Pet Me, to have even more fun with all the pets. So it's been a lot of fun, and we love doing the Corgis.
Well, I got to tell you, I'm looking forward to seeing that Corgi race because I've heard some wonderful things about it.
Karen and those guys, they do a great job. And I mean, when you go up there, they're just I think the world of her. She does a great job as she does this. So it's really a lot of fun.
I went many years ago before the 5-Stars, so I'm kind of excited to go back there and see with the 5-Star. Devon, our audience would be interested in knowing the history behind Straight Arrow Mane and Tail. Can you take us through a condensed journey of how you started up to where you are today?
A condensed version. All right, that's a lot of history.
It sure is.
A lot of history. We've been doing this for a family for quite a long time. Well, going way back, my parents started the business. We started out doing the equine Arabian industry, and we were breeding and showing Arabian horses. And part of my dad's passion was back then, he wanted to just make a product line or something, just because he wasn't happy with what was in the industry during that time. And this is going back into the late 60s. So he saw the products in the market, and there was really nothing there. So he was like, all right. He came up with this name, Mane and Tail, puts the products together. And we started out with a conditioner product, which is our famous product today that a lot of people love, and they use it for their hair for all number of reasons and all types of hairstyles. But he took the time to create all this stuff around the horses, and when we would take our horses to the shows, people would be like, "Wow, what did you guys do to your horses? They look beautiful," because they absolutely love the manes flowing off the Arabians and their tails, and boy, they just get a kick out of it. And we said, well, we make our own stuff here. And they were like, well, can I get some of that? And thus Mane and Tail is born. So it eventually became a business that we literally ran right out of our home. And, growing up in this, I would come home from school, and some kids, they go out and they play and this and that, but I would come home and I'd make batches. I'm literally making batches of conditioner to help my dad out because, it's family labor and we're trying to start a business. And we'd come home, I'd make the products, and We had other family members that would join in. My brothers would jump in, and we'd all just sit there making products. And this thing just grew literally out of our home. And then between taking care of horses, going to the horse shows, making the products, I mean, it was not a boring childhood to say the least. We had a lot of fun around the horses and growing up.
Did you just test it on the horses or did you also test it on your own hair?
Oh no, we use it on ourselves because the feel starts with people. It's like you gotta like the horse has just got a lot thicker hair. So when we built the product, we built it so it would be much more concentrated and work much better for their thicker, coarse hair. And people responded to that and looked at us as a value because if it makes the horses look good that good, they were like, man, I'm gonna try it. And then they started trying it. But like you said, when we first started doing this, we tried it ourselves because that's where the field starts.
And also the organic part of it. I mean, that's what really appeals to me is that I know that I'm putting things on my hair that are good for it, actually.
Well, it all starts with proteins. Those proteins and the quats and the different things that we use in there to condition the hair. And the oils, qualities of oils and all your ingredients, it's important. And we've sourced those for years. And I've had my relationships with those vendors for years because if you get your ingredients from the wrong sources, man, I'm telling you, you can mess up formulas, and you may not even pay attention why. So having those relationships over the years, I mean, we've had those relationships for 40, 50 years, and we continue to build the brand because of that and maintain that quality.
And you also expand beyond mane and tail to other products. What made you decide to even grow even larger and larger and larger?
Well, that becomes the nature because what happens is you're building something, more, people want you to do more things. And they're like, why don't you make this? Or why don't you make that? Or why don't you guys do this or do that? And we've made lots of different products over the years. Some products have failed, some have succeeded. And the reason why is because like people say, oh, well, you got to make this. Okay, we made it, but it doesn't really move very well. Because a couple of people like it. So it's like sometimes finding those broad appeal products that work across a lot of people is where what is the natural evolution of where the business starts to go. And so today we've done products we have all types of, it like even led to like I created a shampoo that called the Ultimate Gloss. And a lot of people are wondering how the heck did I do what I did was, and a lot of people may or may not know the formula, but we made a formula. I wish I had this when I was a kid washing horses. What we did was you start washing the horse, and what you're going to see is this the dirt is almost like going to kind of roll off the horse.
Whoa.
It is an interesting cleaning effect that really happens, and it lifts the dirt right out of that coat when you start to blast it down with the hose, and you'll see it. Then, after you're done, the effect that appears is the horse's coat as they're drying down starts to glow. And everybody's like, how the heck did you do that out of a shampoo? I can't tell you all the secrets, but it's like we made this formula happen, and it was absolutely like I was like when I got results, I was like, holy heck. So we started this product out with the police department over in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania here. And we worked with the police officers, and we were sitting there working on their horses. And they fell in love with it instantly because when people come up to them and they're in the parks and they go to pet that horse, they have said to me time and time again, we have never had the horses feel this silky or soft ever when they've done that. And to hear that from the police and all the people that use these products, I mean, that is inspiration in itself to keep creating and driving and doing more products. And by the way, I get that creativity out of my dad. My dad was very creative that way with making products. And I guess I inherited that along the way that I have a passion for really wanting to create new things, but do it differently and try to come up with a new purpose. And that's what we do.
Well, that's the beauty. Well, I'd like to just kind of end this with a little bit more about the Maryland Five Star.
Okay.
And what it's like to be there, what kind of conversations even do you have about your product when you're there, and what do you find to be the most fun for you there?
Well, it's always fun to go. We're there on Sponsor Row. We go in there. We've got a tent there, and we're all set up. And we always just, I have people that will all sit down and we'll talk and we'll bring, well, actually, I bring some of the eventing riders because we do work with a lot of Olympian equestrians, and it's always nice to get them to come back in and meet with the audience because some of the kids, that's an inspiration for them. And it's all about, let's face it, the horse industry is about kids and animals. And when the kids come up and they get to meet their rider and their hero, that means something, you know?
Absolutely.
And they talk to us about the products, and we're there to support them. That's what it's all about at the end of the day. And what's exciting about the Maryland Five Star? God, just the sheer the watching these athletes go through all these different disciplines, and just even those jumps. I mean, if you've never, you can't appreciate it till you see it live. And when you go there and you see those horses just do what they do, and the riders and the that's dangerous stuff. And they're really putting on that's a very it's a just an impressive thing to watch between horse and rider. And my favorite is just watching the cross country and going around to the different events and just seeing it. You know, after a while, when I see the ring events, I'm like, all right, I've seen one ring event.
And you
But
know what makes this even more wonderful? It's that you created a product for horses and for humans, but mostly for horses. And
yeah,
here you actually enjoy being around the horses. So that inspires you even more because you know what people say about your product.
yeah.
So, what are some of the things that people say about your product?
Oh God, I get it from all over. I mean, I've had from people. You know, one of the greatest compliments I ever had on a bottle was from I remember one lady. She came up and holding the bottle, and she said to me, "I don't know what this is, but the energy in this bottle just feels very good." And when she said that to me, you know, me being a spiritual person, I'll tell you, I'm just like, wow. I'm like, she picked up on something that I really put into the products when I'm doing something like this. Because look, I grew up with horses. I mean, I shovel manure just like every other horse owner. And to this day, I'm like probably the most expensivest horse groomer paid, you know, just to go out. I'll wash anybody's horse and help them out to understand the products and work on it. And I'll go to the barns and I'll work with them because that's what I've done growing up. That's what I know. And that's what we do.
And now you are able to continue to combine your passion for horses for your passion for your products. Well,
Absolutely.
I
And the
want to thank,
comments just keep coming. I mean, there's thousands of compliments that we get on the product line. I'm always glad to hear it.
and you're international.
Yeah,
So yeah, those products
absolutely.
come from all different languages.
Yep. So,
Well, I want to thank you for for chatting with me. Do you have any last words you'd like to say?
well, some of the neat things of people, because people always wonder, like, what are you doing new? What's exciting? Well, I'll give you one that we just started doing was, again, inspired off that Corgi event was the Pet Me line. So I started looking out at the industry and I was saying, okay, what kind of products they got out there? And what I did is I came up with some really unique items under the Pet Me. And the difference is you're going to see is in the ingredient quality. And that's the first thing you're going to notice right off the bat. So I've already started with a bunch of dog groomers, and we were taking stuff out. And I've even got my own little dogs here. I have some Tibetan Terriers, and we were trying it all on them and stuff like that. And between the groomers and that, they are absolutely. We did a lot of work on this line, and they feel the difference. They smell the difference in the formulas. They can see what it's doing for their coats and everything, and they're really excited. So we put it under the. It's branded mane and tail, and the name is what every dog wants. It's called Pet Me.
Oh my
And
gosh,
what does a dog want?
that's
Pet me.
perfect.
That's all dogs want. It's just a pet. So that's exactly it. As we're cleaning them up and making them smell good, you'll be able to just sit back and pet them, and they'll enjoy that. And we're having a lot of fun with that as we've already started launching that. And I have a lot of unique little items in the line so they can check it out. It's the newest thing we're getting into to have some fun with because most horse owners do have their own pets.
That was
And
just what I was going to say. Most
yeah,
of
they
them
just do.
have dogs and
And
cats.
they
So,
keep asking me to do stuff for them. So I'm like, all right, I'll get around to. So here we are years later, and I decided, okay, it's about time. Let's finally make it.
well,
So that's what we're doing.
well, good for you. Well, I want to thank you very much for chatting with me. Do you have any closing words you'd like to share?
Well, just so everybody knows, Mane and Tail is a family-owned business. We do our best. We make all of our products. I like them to know that, and we formulate our own products, and we handle every bit of our process right here in the USA, in Pennsylvania.
Well, I have to
We'll be
admit,
out there fighting for you, equine people.
we will, and I'm going to tell you something too. When I did my shower last night, used your products on my hair for conditioning
thank you.
and shine. So now you know why my hair looks so nice.
You look great. Thank you.
I want to thank you again, and I'm Diana DeRosa reporting for the Equus Radio Network. You can get it wherever you get your favorite podcasts. Thanks again, Devon, for chatting with me and sharing so much of your story with our audience.
Diane, thanks for having me, man. We love you guys.
If you enjoyed today's episode, please let us know. Email diana@equustelevision.net. Join Diana every week for another interview with the people who help shape your equestrian experience, right here on the Equus Radio Network.